So what made you initially interested in wanting to be a part of this?
Well, my manager sent me the script, and he said you should do this movie, and then I read it and was like, no way. And then I read it again, and I was like, oh, okay. But he originally sent me the script for Quills. No, I was kidding. I don't know. I read this movie, and I read the script, and I just thought it was an opportunity to play a really cool character and a really funny character, and that's kind of what drew me into it.
So you and Justin are friends in real life.
Yeah.
So was the friendship on camera not a fake thing?
No, we are good friends. He's an awesome dude. He's like one of the funniest guys, and also one of the better actors I've worked with. You know, I think he's like one of the funniest guys I've ever met. Just a cool guy to hang out with. Yeah. No, I didn't get into almost every school I applied to, and it was really funny because I was a lot more like Bartleby's character than Schrader, because you know, my parents were bummed that I didn't get into all the schools, and I was like bummed that I couldn't. And it was funny because it didn't matter to me so much. It only mattered to me because I wanted to be like everybody else and be able to say I got into a good school. But in the end, it had nothing to do with who I was as a person, and I think that's why the movie is interesting. Is because it's like, you know, it doesn't make you a worse person if you don't get into A school or B school. Like, you're the same person no matter what school you get into. So I think that's what the movie talks about a lot, in a way, is like, besides being really fun and funny, is that, like, you know, that it doesn't matter what school you go to. Yeah, I think, like, you know, Schrader's very uptight and high-strung and kind of, you know, nervous about stuff, and, you know, like, is the voice of reason in the film, but, like, you know, through the process of, you know, going to this college and realizing that he doesn't need to fit in, and, like, you know, he kind of changes to like a more carefree person, which is awesome, because free of care is where you want to be. I never joined a fraternity because I never grasped the concept of like people being mean to you for 6 months and then the next day you're best friends. Like, I just never understood that. But, you know, I understand why people do join fraternities, because it's like an automatic like brotherhood kind of thing. But I don't think it's cool to like hurt people or degrade people to make them join your club. And I think the movie is like, says a lot about that, because it's like why would you want to put yourself through humiliation to just, you know, have friends? You could have friends that are cool that aren't going to be mean to you for a year or whatever, you know, however long it is, you know. He's got to wear a wiener suit. He's got to wear a sperm suit. He's got to wear a purple zoot suit. And those are all fun things for me, personally, in my personal life. But in the character, you realize it's kind of degrading. And just beratement, you know, just people being mean to him, kind of. And, but it's funny to watch him be so trying to fit in with them. It's pretty funny to watch how uncomfortable he is in that scenario, you know? He decides, he doesn't get into any colleges, so he decides to start his own college. And he needs my help, my character Schrader's help, because Schrader is computer savvy, and the real Jonah is not computer savvy. Barely know how to check my own email. I learned like a year ago. And, you know, and they start this fake college together to fool his parents.
So it seemed like it must have been a really fun film to work on, because everybody, like, you guys, the people that attended the college, there must have been like 400 extras, and everyone was really young. But it seemed like your group of 5 or 6 friends in the film. Like, did you guys get along in real life?
No, unfortunately, no. Yeah, it was not fun. Everyone just was really mean to each other. Justin flew in on a helicopter every day from Malibu. No, everyone was really cool. Like, everyone, I mean, I've never worked with a group of people who got along so well. No one really, like, you know, usually, you know, in any work scenario, there's probably people who aren't good friends, but everyone was really fun and, like, fun to be around. I'd say the pool scene in the fraternity house, in the pool room, that was my favorite scene to shoot, because Steve just let me kind of go off and improvise, and it was so much fun. To just do what you want to do and learn what you want to learn about, because that's the only way you're going to be happy. You're not going to be happy pleasing anybody else, doing something because you think it'll please somebody else in your life, you know? Just, you could fly higher than an eagle if you want to, if you will it. Lewis Black, Working with Lewis Black is like being in the middle of an earthquake all the time, but hilarity earthquake. An earthquake full of laughs and tears. No, Lewis is like probably one of the funniest people I've ever met in my entire life. Like, he's the coolest guy and he's insanely funny. Like, brutally funny. He's so funny. My character learns that he doesn't have to please anybody but himself. Like, he doesn't have to, like, you know, fit in with people just because he thinks he's supposed to. And by the end, he becomes a more carefree, happier person. I now only travel by train as a result of doing this movie.
Why?
Oh, wait, is this... Oh, sorry, this was something else. No, I'm just kidding. I learned, you know, I pretty much, I realized, because I was a lot like, you know, trying to fit in when you're younger in high school and stuff like that, be something you're not. And I kind of learned that when I got to college, that I was like, you can kind of be whoever you are, and that's the best way to live your life. So I kind of already knew that lesson that Schrader learned, and that was kind of like what made me want to play the character so much. Well, this movie is just really funny. I think like it's fun. I think it's funny, and like, you know, people. You know, it says a lot about our educational system also. It's funny and you have a good time while you're watching it, and then at the same time you're like, wow, like, you know, college should be a different kind of thing than it is. You know what I mean? And I'm in it. So if you aren't petrified by me, you might enjoy this movie.
And you're wearing a wiener suit.
I'm wearing a wiener suit. You can't beat that with a bat. Probably Google things. Like what? I Google things. If I have a question, I like things like, I'll get in arguments with my friends, and then the Google will be the settlement of the argument. I was a writer. I wanted to be a writer my whole life since I was a kid, and I was living in New York, and I couldn't really find anyone who I thought like was understanding what I like, any actors that to play the parts in the plays that I was writing that I thought were like funny, like the way I meant it to be funny, you know. So I just kind of started doing it myself to be like, hey, this is what this is what I want it to be like. And then I really fell in love with it and like started taking classes and stuff like that. And then I got lucky just to, you know, kind of get my first movie. It was really awesome.